So I just came back from the range, and my family's out of town, so they've taken the cameras. So I'm gonna have to. Couldn't show you the range footage, but they're taking about survival firearms, the whole concept of survival firearms, and basically the idea behind the survival firearm is that you take it with you when you're going on outdoor adventures, and it'll help feed you if you get lost or injured or something, and also give you some protection from bears, maybe. And I want to talk a little bit about the two firearms I had out because they're probably the premier survival firearms, and they're combination guns. And the first one is the Springfield M6 carbine. This is almost like a mythical firearm because they made them for a while. They were cheaper than Borscht. I guess they didn't get bought much. And then as soon as they stopped making them, the price has gone up, so these are now worth like a whole pile of money. Much more than they're probably worth, but that's how it seems to go. So I was lucky enough to buy a copy. So these were U.S. Air Force firearms. The originals had 14-inch barrels. This one has an 18.5-inch barrel. Originals were 22 Hornet 410s. This is a 22 Hornet 410. They also made the civilian model, which is this one, in 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum, but I bought the original 22 Hornet because I'm an admirer of the 22 Hornet. So the 22 Hornet over, 410, 3-inch chambered, full choke bottom. And I've used this for spruce grouse hunting. When these guns were $250, I used to use this quite a lot, and I've quite liked it. I use mostly the 410 barrel. 410 barrel will work out to 20 yards on spruce grouse. After that, patterns get a bit thin. They're a bit spotty, the 410. It's got a long shot column. And even with the full choke barrel, you'll notice gaps in patterns. And sometimes if the spruce scout grouse happens to be in that, you don't get as clean a kill as you will when it gets in the heavier part. Number 6 shot is the way to go because it goes right through the tissue. This also shoots slugs. Get about 3-inch groups at 15 yards, or 25 yards rather. And also there's buckshot loads you can get for the 410 barrel. When I lived in Nunavut, I had this firearm. And in Nunavut, it was legal to shoot big game with 22 Hornet, and this gun, I know, will kill caribou and do pretty well. Out to about 100 yards where it gets 3-inch groups. I never tried it past 100 yards. So this would feed you, and you can fart around with small game a lot, and that's better than eating nothing. But if you can get yourself a caribou and know how to keep the meat dry the meat, and could keep you through a whole summer. So Christopher McCandless, well, I guess he got his moose, but he didn't know how to dry it. So anyway, having something like this is cheap insurance. It's in the 4-pound range. You lift this lid, it's got some little surprises underneath. It's got room for 12 22 Hornet rounds, and that's what a 22 Hornet round looks like. So we're over here. So the 22 Hornet is not a gigantic round. This has a 13-inch twist. So I find that it shoots 55 grain bullets pretty well. And a 55 grain bullet at 2200 feet per second is the way to go. Doesn't damage that much meat. Works more like a expanding bullet or a controlled expanding bullet. Penetrates well on bigger game, doesn't blow apart small game. So I'm reloading 55 grain bullets with this rifle, and have in fact regulated the sights to work with that. The sights it comes with is a peep sight and a flip up V sight. That sight is on with the shotgun. This sight is on with the 22 Hornet. So I guess that's cheaper than regulating, and it works all right. It's got this little lift up action similar to the old Webley, and I took off the trigger guard so that folds up and will stack just about anywhere. And that's a pretty good rig. You can put it in a small little takedown bag. You can also take out this little pin here. Just comes right out, and it fits in one of the 22 Hornet. So I only have 11 rounds, and I have one empty that that pin goes in takedown mode. So in takedown mode, that's a 20-inch package or 18.5-inch package. So that'll go just about anywhere, and that's pretty handy. Is it grizzly bear defense? I'd hate to use it for grizzly bear defense. You'd have 2 shots, 1 slug, 1 22 Hornet. I guess if you were super steady and just a little bit lucky, you might be okay, but I'd rather never try that. Black bear, I feel a little more comfortable. Might give you a little peace of mind. Hate to try it, but other than that, pretty good rig for keeping you fed in the outdoors. It's got a little wiggle, a little shimmy in it, just like the old Webley's had, but it seems to shoot well. I've got 2-inch groups at 100 yards with this rifle. We'll always get 3-inch groups with a whole bunch of loads. I load 42-27 with 55 or 50 grain bullets I also use, and they shoot to a similar point of impact. And slugs, buckshot, number 6 shot, and pretty good rig. Wish they still made them. Now, the other firearm that you'll hear some people talk about is a little different, but it's a combination gun too. And this is the Savage 24C Camper's Companion. And it's in the 5 3/4 pound class. It has, in this buttstock here, it's got a little moving piece here that you can look at. There's a stock trap. Carries 10 long rifles and a 20 gauge. So this is a 20 gauge 3/4 inch chamber, 2 3/4 inch chamber, and it's a break open as well. More traditional thumb opening there. And it's got a 22 long rifle top and a 20 gauge bottom. 20 gauge bottom, because it's open choke, shoots slugs really nicely. 3/4 inch slugs. So out to 50 yards, you can get 3 to 6 inch groups depending on your day and the load you're using. And out to 75 yards, it's usable. 100 yards, I just don't get enough good groups. I get 1 to 2 inch groups with a 22 long rifle at 50 yards, depending on what ammunition I'm using. So pretty darn good. You got to use a little bit of Kentucky windage on this. And I just painted a white stripe. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it right there, a white stripe. And I basically put that at the top of my sight picture, and it's on for slugs. And that works surprisingly well. So that's a pretty good rig, and it comes down pretty easily too. Just take off the forearm like every other, break open shotgun. And there you got a nice 20-inch package. So it'll also does a very good job. I've done this for a while. Even so, I'm pretty fast, yeah. There, it's back together. 20 gauge slugs. Again, would I feel comfortable with a 20 gauge against a grizzly bear? Be a lot better than nothing, but a lot less than a 450 Marlin or 4570 or 358 Norma Magnum or something like that, which would make you more than equal. But a lot better than nothing. And again, packs small, a very good little peace of mind to have with you. And this is my spruce grouse gun. Again, it's no longer made either, and the price of these is going up to $700-800 too. So that's a bit of a problem. So these little combination guns are great. One thing I have to say about this, I do have an ace insert, and I open up the 20 gauge and I put the ace insert in, and you rotate it, and I've put a little dot on this barrel, a little dot on the ace barrel when it's on for the sights, and it shoots 3-inch groups at 100 yards. Sometimes has misfires. I probably would have to invest in a stronger spring if I was going to use that at all. It takes the weight up a little bit more, so I hardly ever use it. But it's a 30-30 barrel, and it allows you to shoot 30-30 in this gun. So that adds a bit of versatility to this that the M6 doesn't have. I'm glad I have both. If I had to only have one, probably be this guy here, simply because it's a more useful sporting arm. But as a pure survival rifle, I'd have to give the nod to the M6. I've also got some other takedown rifles. I've got a nice 10-22, 22 long rifle, takedown from Ruger. It shoots really well. It's a lovely, lovely rig. It takes down into 20-inch package, 18.5-inch package too. But a 22 long rifle is a 22 long rifle. I'd rather have a 22 long rifle and a shotgun, or a 22 Hornet and a shotgun, than just a 22 long rifle. It's a little more versatility to the system. So these over and unders were definitely a good idea. If you can find one, I would buy one in mint, because they're both excellent firearms. I just wish they weren't so pricey now, so that I now feel bad when I'm using them, but I still do. So thanks for watching. Great firearms. Oh, let me show you some targets. Here's what I'm saying about the 410. So I don't know how well you can see that, but the 410, that's the 410 at 15 yards with number 6 shot in a 3-inch. And you can see holes in the pattern, like right there. There's a hole in the pattern. And sometimes you get the spruce grouse walking into that hole. And so that's not as good or as satisfying. So the 20 gauge is much rounder, better. So here's the 20 gauge. Even at 7 yards, I'm showing you 7 yards just to say, you know, that's still not going to rip it up even at that close range, because the open choke really moves it open. And there we are at 20 yards, and you can see it's a much more even pattern. There's no place for a spruce grouse to go at 15, 20 yards. Past 20 yards, pattern just gets a bit too thin. So that's definitely both of these guns have about a 20-yard limit when used as shotguns against small game. Rabbits too. I'm a real fan of number 6 shot. Number 6 shot gives you a dense enough pattern, and the 6 shot penetrates well enough. The 7 has is sometimes found even in the breast meat of the spruce grouse. I don't want to eat that, so the 6s go through. And here's an example of the 22 Hornet. So those 3 rounds there are 3 rounds of 50 grain ammo, and that's about 1.5 inch group. I got a sighter down below. That's I was trying to remember where the sight's printed, so that was my first shot. And then I realized I needed to go a little higher, so that was the next 3 were 1.5 inches. And I'll often get 2 to 3 inch groups at 100 yards. Sometimes a little better. And there's the 24C at 50 yards. And I was adjusting the sights, so that's one group and then another. And you can see that's 1.5 inches or 2 inches too at 50 yards, which is about as well as I can do with open sights. And then we have a 6-inch group, maybe 7-inch group with slugs. It's not as bad as that though. That first one, I was remembering how the sights worked, and I moved the sights up to that little round, that little white stripe, and got these 2. So based on past, I'm often getting 3-inch groups, and as I remember it, it was sighted in for about 75 yards with slugs, which would be about right. So that's a 75-yard caribou firearm, both of them, and 22 Hornet probably a little further, probably 100, 125 yards. In Nunavut, you're allowed to shoot big game with the 22 Hornet, and I did experiment a bit with that rifle, and I never went past about 100 yards, but it will do a number on a caribou if you hit them right, and so I hit them right. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this was a little bit informative. Wished I could show you some range footage, but maybe next time. Thank you.